Good morning, CSL family. Good morning. We're going to start our service as we always do, which is with Spirit is in this place. So let's all stand up and make a joyful noise.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Oh, that sounds good. My name's Todd Maznicki. I'm your presider this morning. In addition to marvelous music, we are going to have with Dr. Chris an enlightening core value in meditation, and Reverend Mike is here to give a great teaching for us. So we're honored that you're here joining us, whether in person or joining us on Facebook Live, YouTube, or our own website, cslftl.org, live streaming. You had choices to be elsewhere, but I know that your best and highest good is being served right now by being here with us at CSL Fort Lauderdale. If you're a first-time guest here, extra special welcome to you. We have a gift for you. If you'd go to guest services after the service, we have a pair of mala beads just for you as a thank you for being here for the first time. You can use them in your prayer or meditation practice, or just wear as a piece of jewelry to think of us and be reminded that there's always a seat for you here at CSL Fort Lauderdale. We also here at Fort Lauderdale, CSL Fort Lauderdale, have an intention statement that says who we are and how we want to be present in the world. So I'd ask that you all just join me in standing so that we can say it together. And afterwards, please just greet your neighbor with a hello, a handshake, or a namaste. So CSL Fort Lauderdale, who are we? We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
Once again, good morning, CSL family. We have a beautiful guest vocalist here today, so please welcome the very beautiful and very talented Miss Christina Gilbert.
Send some rain, would you send some rain? 'Cause the earth is dry and needs to drink again. The sun is high and we are sinking in the shade. Would you send a cloud, thunder long and loud? Let the sky grow black and send some mercy down. Surely you can see that we are thirsty and afraid. But maybe not today. Maybe you'll provide in other ways. And if that's the case, we'll give thanks to you with gratitude for lessons learned and how to thirst for you, how to bless the very sun that warms our face if you never send us rain. Daily bread, give us daily bread. Bless our bodies, keep our children fed. Fill our cups, then fill them up again tonight. Wrap us up and warm us through, tucked away beneath our sturdy roofs. Let us slumber, safe from danger's view this time. Or maybe not today. Maybe you'll provide in other ways. And if that's the case, we'll give thanks to you with gratitude. A lesson learned to hunger after you. And the starry sky offers a better view. If no roof overhead, and if we never taste that bread. Oh, the differences that often are between everything we want and what we really need. So grant us peace, Spirit, grant us peace. Move our hearts to hear a single beat between alibis and enemies tonight. Or maybe not today. Peace might be another world away. And if that's the case, we'll give thanks to you with gratitude for lessons learned and how to trust in you. That we are blessed beyond what we could ever dream, in abundance all we need. And if you never grant us peace, but Spirit, would you please?
Good morning, CSL.
Good morning.
It's good to be with you again. So yesterday was Veterans Day, and I want to take some time out of our service this morning to thank all of the veterans and all the people who are on active duty around the world. If you are a veteran, would you please stand up so we can show you some love? Look at this. Thank you for your service. My father was in the Korean War, and interestingly though enough, he never talked about it at all. I know absolutely nothing about that period in his life. He never shared a feeling, a thought, or an experience at all. Like most men of his generation, he suffered, I guess, in silence. I encourage those of you here who are veterans to tell your stories. To tell your stories to people who don't know them and who can appreciate them. Because not only will it be healing for you, it will be healing for all of us. We know that freedom is not free. It comes at a price. And you're the price. So thank you again for your service. It's all about what you stand for in life, as a country, as a person, as a community. And at CSL, we have 7 core values. They are love and healing and oneness and abundance and spiritual growth and service and diversity. And the core value that we're highlighting today is diversity. Diversity means many different things to many people. One of the things that you learn when you become a member of CSL is that we have a youth center, and you learn quickly about how we treat our children and what we expect from them. The word education comes from the Latin word educare, which means to draw outward that which is already within. In most educational systems, certainly in our school system, we think that children are empty vessels that they need to be taught to and memorized facts and learn things from the outside in. However, we approach children's education here as just the opposite. Each one of them a diverse individual expression of a spirit that has come to life in perfection, in its own perfect form, with a new gift and a new way to experience life. And so our youth program education is to draw outward that which God has placed within, because we understand that each individual created by the universe and placed on this planet is a unique emanation of a perfect love, a perfect life, a perfect spirit. Diversity and appreciation is the universe's message. Diversity is our core value.
Once again, good morning, CSL family. Not only do we have a guest vocalist today, we have a guest piano player. Make some noise and make a CSL welcome to Felix Gomez. Thank you, Felix. Appreciate you being here. So this next song is really important to me. It's a beautiful, beautiful song recorded by an R&B artist by the name of Tevin Campbell. You may have recognized the name. But this particular song wasn't played on the radio, but it's a beautiful song entitled One Song. And if you all could do me the favor and really listen to these lyrics, they're very, very beautiful. If we all sing one song of love, one song of peace, one song to make all our troubles cease, one hymn, one theme, one hope, one dream. Imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing one song, if we all learn the words, just think how great the sound would be. And since the tune is in freedom's key, one voice you hear, so pure, so near. Imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing one song. There's just one sun that warms our day. The same moon and stars, they light our way. This little world in space is our only hope, our only place. If we all sing one song of love, one song of peace, one song to make all our troubles cease. Imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing one song. Yeah, one song of love, one song of peace, one song to make all our troubles cease. Imagine what tomorrow would bring. Imagine what tomorrow would bring. Just imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing. Yeah, if we all sing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One
Come on, I could have hit that last note. Talk about a unique expression of God. Man, very fortunate, CSL. So I'm here to introduce my friend, Reverend Mike Irwin, again as our guest speaker this Sunday. I invited him to be here for 2 Sundays in a row and teach a class in between because I am absolutely sure that he has a consciousness of love and peace and compassion. I have worked with this man. He's been a colleague, a student, a friend for many, many years. There's not much else I could say about him. He is just a kind and generous man. Welcome to the stage again, Reverend Mike Irwin.
Thank you. Well, I didn't know if I'd get introduced 2 Sundays in a row, so thank you. I've been talking, or am talking, about the power of appreciation. Before I say anything else about what I want to say, I may not need to say this to you, but I hope you have deep appreciation for your music, because it makes, you all make it so easy. Make it so easy to get up and do this now after that kind of music. It's like, maybe I don't even need to talk. But I will. So as I said, we've been talking about the power of appreciation. And if you were here last week or heard on a recording from last week, I talked about a deep appreciation from a viewpoint that maybe we don't hear too much. But it's to have this deep appreciation and a practice that says, I don't see I see no stranger, but because you are a part of me, I just don't know yet. So you're not really a stranger, and I'm not going to treat you like that. I'm going to treat you as someone who I just don't yet know, and I'm willing to learn. So I want to talk a little bit more about that deep learning in a little bit. But today I want to talk again about this deep appreciation that we can have for one another that causes us to make room for each other and to make really sincere, heartfelt room for those around us and for anyone. So I'm going to start with an idea that I read in a book entitled More Together Than Alone by Mark Nepo. He says, the world of community is the practice of care, stitching the world together. Ours is a complicated era. We need every resource and every example of heart and resilience that we can find. And he goes on to say, it is both comforting and challenging to realize that no one person can wrestle from the earth the song of how we can survive together. And no one voice can sing that chorus, although you all did a great job of singing the chorus. We need each other more than ever. So as I said, I want to talk a little bit this morning about how we make room for one another. And I'm just adding on how we do that graciously. Because we can make room for others in all kinds of ways. We can make room, but do it grudgingly. Well, I guess I have to. We can make room for others out of obligation. Well, it's what we say we do, so I guess I'll do it. We can make room and then pretty much overlook somebody or almost ignore them and cause them to still feel unwelcome in all sorts of ways. But when we make room graciously, we provide what I'm just calling hospitality. We make room for others that cause people to feel welcome and included and accepted as they are. And I don't think there's probably anyone in the room or anyone listening that doesn't want to feel welcome and included and accepted as they are, that they don't have to edit who they are just to be liked or accepted. So I was really fortunate growing up to have seen making room graciously for others modeled for me, and it was from my grandma. And this was so long ago. I mean, it's been decades since she's been on the planet, but I still remember what she modeled for us. So it must have been really a powerful message that she left as one of her legacies, because I never saw her refuse to make room for others in a gracious and inclusive way, except for one time, and you may appreciate this. A group of folks, I'll just back up a minute. I was raised in a little town, so it was way back in the days when churches would come knocking on doors and, try to change where you went to church. So there was a group of folks from a church in town who knocked on her door and proceeded to tell her that her religion was not the true religion. And evidently, you did not mess with my grandma's faith or her religion, so she slammed the door in their face. So that was the only time in my whole life I saw her not just open her arms wide and graciously welcome somebody. But if we took our friends with us to her house, all she needed to know was that they were our friends. She didn't have a checklist that she kept of what made our friends acceptable in her home. So I saw at an early age this making room for others and doing it graciously. But today I want to take a deeper dive into appreciating others again and look at a larger view of what it means to make room for others. More than just welcoming them into our home or welcoming them into our spiritual communities. Because where the rubber really meets the road is where in our daily interactions. How we live together, how we work together, how we do community together, how we just interact human to human in our everyday lives. And it gives us a chance, perhaps, to take a look and say, are we making room for others, not just physical space, not just making room for someone to sit beside us or to come in, but are we making room where it all begins? Making room in our heart, making room in our mind, in our attitude, in our generosity of spirit. So there is an old legend about two tribes that says, in the beginning, when the first humans came across each other, the more fearful tribes said, "You're different, go away." We've all encountered that tribe probably. But there was another tribe that said, "You're different, come teach me what I don't know." So although that is an ancient legend, and, perhaps we would like to think we're more educated and sophisticated than ancient tribes thousands of years ago, I'm not sure humanity has changed a whole lot from the standpoint that we may still have those two tribes. You're different, go away, or you're different, come teach me what I don't know. So since the beginning of when those tribes were there, those two tribes have had their own philosophies and they've had their own worldviews. The go-away tribe believes that human beings who are different from them, for some reason, just can't be trusted, or they're dangerous, or they should be marginalized, or somehow they need to have their lives controlled. So the go-away tribe believes in stringent legal and moral laws to make sure that people don't run amok and have too much freedom. Evidently, there's nothing more dangerous than people with freedom of expression who are thinking for themselves. The Come Teach Me tribe, though, believes that diverse human beings are a gift, which makes me really love your core value today of diversity. But the Come Teach Me tribe, as I said, believes that diverse human beings are a gift and that everyone has something of value to contribute. This tribe believes in cultivating a culture where people feel free to use their gifts and their creativity, but it's for the common good. So the truth is that we are influenced, I think, by both tribes in our daily life, and we, I guess, can move back and forth between those tribes depending on the situation. So it seems like it's that classic struggle between living from self-interest and going beyond self-interest to take care and care for one another. And I think that struggle lives in each and every one of us. We're asked to work out these choices every day of our life. So the quality of our relationships, our families, our communities, depend on which one of those two choices or those two tribes we live from. The go away or let's learn from each other. So I read an interesting question that was asked by a social activist, and I believe he was also a Zen Buddhist monk. And he was asked about human connections and how we're stronger when we recognize that our survival depends on one another and not on self-interest. So the question he asked was this: what is a bee without its hive? And if you're thinking, what does that have to do with anything? It's fascinating to learn what happens inside a beehive, because it's really a metaphor for our interactions and how we live together, either from self-interest or living from the common good. Now, you may know this. I didn't know it until I read it, but bees have survived since the existence of dinosaurs. They've been able to adapt and survive for thousands of years, which kind of makes you think, well, they must have figured something out. They must be doing something right if they've survived that long. So it turns out that in a hive, there is this complex set of roles among the bees, and there's teamwork that exists in the hive. So the first group, if you will, is there is one queen, one and only one queen in the hive. You got to have a queen. I figured that might get a laugh. So I'm not going to say anything more about it. The second group, if you will, is there are a couple of hundred drones who are males. The males have a really tough job. They mate and take care of the queen. Somebody's got to do it, I guess. And then, as you might guess, there's the third group, and they are the worker bees, and they are the female bees. There are 100 female worker bees for every male drone. So the male bees are like in those odds. But the worker bees, the females, have different roles. So while the male drones just kind of hang around and take care of the queen and mate, the female worker bees have all kinds of roles to play in the life of the hive. Some worker bees fly out of the hive and find pollen so that they can make honey, which will provide food for the hive. There are bees who are responsible for the health of the bees in the hive, and they remove sick bees to prevent the entire hive from getting ill. There are bees that guard the entrance into the hive to make sure there are no dangerous intruders that get in. There are temperature control bees whose only job is the temperature of the hive. So if it gets too hot, these bees will vibrate, if it gets cold and needs to be heated, these bees will vibrate their bodies in such a way, and I'm not going to show you how they do that, that raises their body temperature to warm the hive. Pretty ingenious, huh? If the hive needs to be cooled, these bees will gather drops of water on their backs, and then they'll rapidly buzz their wings, and I'm not going to do that either. They will rapidly buzz their wings and let the water droplets evaporate into the hive to cool it. So every bee has a part to play in the survival, not only in the survival of the hive, but they've survived for centuries with this kind of framework, where everybody has a part to play. So it seems they've figured out their survival depends on moving past self-interest, and instead they work for the common good. They've understood that they are more together than they are alone, as Mark Nepo said. They're stronger together in mutual cooperation than living alone or than alone living from self-interest. So they know that we need each other and the diversity of our gifts to make us whole. So what is a bee without its hive? I think maybe the bigger question is, what are we without each other? So as I said, there seems to be this constant struggle between self-interest and our self-survival, and then on the other hand, going beyond our own self-interest in order to care for one another. So I found this idea that I thought was such a beautiful way to describe caring for one another, and it's called reaching back. So reaching back for others is a timeless sign of the good-hearted among us, whose very strength of kindness makes human connections possible. And I really thought of that phrase, the strength of kindness, because I think especially right now we need the strength of kindness in the world. But how many of us, I know I was not, taught that kindness was a strength. It was you were weak, you were being a doormat if you responded with kindness. But strength of kindness makes human connections possible, and we need that so much. But this reaching back, the concern for the journey of others, reminded me of the Buddhist bodhisattvas, enlightened beings who postpone their own salvation in order to guide others to their own salvation. They sacrifice their own salvation for others. In other words, they reach back. They reach back for others. So there is an ancient teaching story that describes the nature of a bodhisattva's reaching back for others. And it goes like this. 3 people are walking through the desert, and they're parched and they're thirsty, and they spy a high wall far off in the distance in the desert. And of course, probably you would too, they'd say, that's our way out right there. So when they approach it, they see that the wall has no entrance and it has no doorway to enter through. So they have to climb the wall in order to try to get out. So one person climbs on the shoulders of the other 2, reaches the top of the wall, and in his excitement about what he sees on the other side, he jumps inside the wall, leaving the other 2 in the desert. So the second person wants to climb, so he climbs on the top of the shoulders of the other person and gets to the top of the wall and sees what's on the other side. And in his excitement, he jumps inside, leaving the third person alone in the desert. So the third person laboriously climbs alone, climbs the wall without assistance. And when he reaches the top of the wall and looks inside to the other side, he sees why the other 2 were so excited to jump in. So it's like a garden paradise on the other side. There's cool running water, there's shade trees, there's food to eat. But instead of jumping in to the garden paradise like the first 2, this third person jumps back into the desert and seeks out other desert travelers, other desert wanderers who are lost, to tell them about the paradise on the other side of the wall, and helps them climb over and experience paradise for themselves. And this third person is a bodhisattva, someone who postpones their own salvation in order to help and guide others to their salvation. So if you're thinking that a story about enlightened bodhisattvas has nothing to do with you, I think it has everything to do with you and with me. Because the moral of the teaching story is every time we pause to help someone climb a wall or face an illness, we are a bodhisattva. We're someone who reaches back for others. Every time we check on the neighbor who lives alone and we listen to their stories and their challenges, we are a bodhisattva, someone who reaches back for others. Every time we hold someone who's in pain, or we help someone who has forgotten who they are, and we help them remember their value and their worth, we are a bodhisattva for them, someone who reaches back for another. And when others do that for us, and I'm sure you remember times where somebody did that for you, they are a bodhisattva for you. They were someone who reached back for you. Our well-being depends on each of us reaching back for one another. But the challenge for us is probably the same challenge as those ancient tribes that I told you about earlier. The challenge is to be the person, to be the tribe, to be the community who says, you're different, but come teach me what I don't know. The challenge is to be the ones who help one another to endure and stand up and be strong by lifting up one another's heart. And that feels like a huge task, yes? We probably cannot save the whole world of 7 billion plus people, but we also cannot ignore the world because it may feel like it's just too much. What we can do, and what I think we must do, is set our attention on the world of people we touch every day. And I said this last week, we all have a world of people that we touch. That is our world. And so we can make that world a better place by reaching back for each other in any way we can when someone stumbles. So I have one more idea that I want to share with you, and it's this. It says, we are all tied together in invisible places. When those places are torn, we are diminished. We are more together than alone. And I love that idea that we're tied together in invisible places. There are obvious ways we're tied together, but there are so many ways that we are tied in invisible places. And when those invisible places are torn or damaged, we are all diminished. So we need more. We need one another more than ever. The work of community is the practice of care that stitches the world together. Ours is a complicated era, and don't we know it? We need every resource, we need every example of heart and resilience that we can find. It is both comforting and challenging to realize that no one person can wrestle from the earth the song of how we can survive together. No one voice can sing that chorus. We need each other more than ever. So I want to thank you so much for making room for me in your spiritual community this week. Thank you so much for being here, and so ends the lesson.
Thank you, Reverend Mike. We appreciate you being here these past 2 Sundays, teaching us here and in the classroom. This is the part of the service where we invite you to practice the law of reciprocity or law of circulation. We all know as we give love and kindness out into the world, we receive it. The same is true for financial resources. So we thank you for your generous support of the Center for Spiritual Living. It's because of you that we're here, and we reciprocate by having the music, the message, the meditation, and we thank you for that. A special thanks goes to our TPL or the Prosperous Life members that are committed to giving a specific dollar amount every month that comes from their bank account or their credit card so that we can count on being here to serve you and help you along your path in spiritual growth. Thank you so much, TPL members. We've made it very easy for you to give. The ushers will be coming down the aisle shortly. You can give via the CSL app or our website, cslftl.org. If you're watching online, just hit the donate button. The Prosperous Life members may place their TPL card in the basket during the offering. If you're a visitor, this is on us today. We're just grateful that you're here if you're a first-time guest, so thank you for being here. If you'd like to learn more about the Prosperous Life, please go to guest services after the service, or I'm happy to talk to you as well after the service. Thank you again for your generous financial support. We truly appreciate you. Ushers, please proceed.
I might not have it all, but I'm happy with what I have. I'll always live in gratitude, counting my blessings and acknowledging all I have.
There I am. You know, at CSL, we have sort of a dual way of practicing our spirituality. The first is, of course, prayer. We believe in the power of prayer and its ability to change the events of your life. But we also practice meditation. There's a time to talk. There's a time to listen in every relationship. And so this is our time in our service that we take together as a community to sit together in meditation and contemplation. So I invite you to close your eyes.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around me. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around me and through me. As in and through me, as God is all around me.
One of the great spiritual geniuses from the American continent is Ralph Waldo Emerson. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said that each takes his own from the multiplicity that sweeps and circles round him. When they sing that God is all around you, they are speaking of this presence, this invisible presence that permeates your being. It is the life of love. It is the intelligence in your body that is sustaining it. It is the accumulated wisdom in your mind and the infinite depth of love in your heart. God is not a separate being from you. It is experiencing itself as you. And so anytime a problem arises, a challenge, anytime something scares you or you grow afraid and fearful in this world, you can return home to that presence that not only circles around you, but lives inside of you. And you can rest in the knowing that that which created you has its only interest in sustaining you and creating a beautiful life through you. Let's take a moment to contemplate this powerful presence that lives inside. Let's be still. You may think in that minute of silence that nothing really good happened. What you need to be reminded of is that every moment you spend with Spirit is cumulative and causative. When you stop your life and go within, it's like depositing $100 in the bank every single time you do. The benefits outweigh whatever effort you have applied. Just be still. In a world of chaos and confusion and noise and craziness, there is power in just being still and going within. Practice this daily, and your life will change for the better in unimaginable ways. And so it is.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day. God is all around me. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around me. And I'm thankful. And so it is. I'm so thankful. And so it is. God is all around me.
Awesome. Thank you. I welcome you back into the room. I want to thank again my friend and colleague, Reverend Mike Irwin, for being with us here in Fort Lauderdale. Thank you so much. A special treat for me. You know, at CSL, we believe in the power of prayer and setting an intention. And if you came here today with an issue that you feel needs some attention, then please see one of our licensed spiritual practitioners. They've spent years learning the art and power of prayer, and they can help you. And they'll all be up here on stage at the end of the service and remain here for your support. So please come up and see one of them. They are here in service to you. You can also get to prayer on our CSL app by pressing the pray button on the CSL app, or you can go to the prayer line and call 954-990-5625. And if you're online, you can just go there quickly and easily. You know, we also have a youth center, as I mentioned earlier, about what we teach our kids. So if you have children or grandchildren, please bring them to our service. They're learning the same things, and we're teaching them the same things that we're teaching you here. And that brings to mind our youth bake sale. We do this a couple times a year. We do it suspiciously right before the holidays, right? So next, believe it or not, the next week is Thanksgiving. So our youth bake sale is this coming Sunday, next Sunday. So if you have something you would like to contribute to that you're baking, some people have already told me, then bring it in. And if not, then you can just buy it all back. So all the money goes to our youth center, every single nickel, every single dime. You guys are always very generous with kids. We love that. And it ends up bringing in a couple $1,000s. You're very generous with the children. Because this is a month of November and a month of gratitude, I've been inviting people to go to the gratitude wall that we set up that our children made. It's right to your right as you exit the sanctuary, and write on there what you're most grateful for. When we keep our attention focused on what we have, the power of that expands it. There's so much going on here at CSL that Fran and I made a video, and I want to share it with you again. Jerry's going to play it now.
Hey Fran, did you know that the weather has started to change in South Florida? Have you noticed instead of 90 degrees every day, it's like 88?
Yes, it's cold.
And the humidity has gone down like from 80% to 78%.
Oh, it's so nice to be in season.
And they're selling firewood at Publix. It is the fall, and did you know that 4 million Canadians will descend upon South Florida this winter?
Yes, I did know that.
I know,
actually.
I love it when they come because they say process instead of process. So we're all excited about all the things that are happening at CSL this fall and just wanted to take some time to tell you what's going on. We have some incredible guest speakers. Of course, Dr. Chris Michaels will be speaking. Of course, Fran will be speaking. But our old friend, Reverend Heidi Alfrey, will be returning to the stage in December. And my friend, Reverend Mike Irwin from CSL Kansas City will also be here to do a workshop. And then we have lots of other upcoming events like
The CSL Thanksgiving on November 17th, and we provide the protein.
it's a big potluck, a big family potluck, and it's a home for the holidays thing. Of course, one of the things that I instituted when I got here was the Great Giveaway, which is, of course, December 23rd. It's the Saturday always before Christmas. We gather here at CSL with some cash, and then we just take it out in the community and give it away. Then the next thing,
The holiday concert with Antonio Reflections Band and so much more on December 15th.
how much more?
I don't know, it's a secret.
And then, of course, and then, of course, the Christmas Eve service, which happens to fall on a Sunday this year. So we'll do a morning service and we'll do the traditional candlelight service on Christmas Eve evening. And do you know what I say during the holidays? My holiday greeting?
Ho, ho, ho.
Happy Hanukkah Kwanzaa Solstice. That way you include everybody. Happy Hanukkah Kwanzaa Solstice. So learn that, friends and family. Also, if you did not have a good year, this is the perfect time to attend the Burning Bowl ceremony on December 31st because you can let it go, let it go, let it go. Thanks for coming to CSL. Come back home for the holidays. We miss you. I'm just going to remind you that this Friday is the CSL Family Thanksgiving Potluck, and you can sign up to bring a dish. I will be here with friends and family, so come join us and enjoy that. And December 5th is our CSL Volunteer Luncheon. We get the opportunity to thank anyone and everyone that has volunteered here at CSL, so mark your calendar for attending that. We close our service with our closing affirmation, and if yours is like mine, and I know it is, will you say it aloud with me, please? It says this: I live in a world of one people, one life, one spirit. Let's know this together. We are indeed surrounded by and immersed in the power and presence of Spirit. That this one life, this one power, this one presence is actively creating more of itself. It is distributing love, unconditional love. It is giving of its own perfection. It is healing all those who come before it. This one life, this one presence, this one love has diversified itself and experiencing itself in a variety of unrepeated life forms in all in time and history. When you look in the mirror this week, all you can see is God being itself in this unique form. Appreciate the value that you are. Appreciate the value that each individual is. We are all holding equal value in the eyes of God. This truth is established. This unity is part of who we are as a community, as part of who we are as individuals. We take it forth into the world that is desperate for this peaceful, healing message. And we see it in others, and we give it to them. And we are grateful for all the good that is in our lives today and for the good that's on its way right now. And so it is. Thanks for joining us today. See you next Sunday. I'll be your speaker. All right? Come on up here, practitioners. Let's stand and sing our closing song. Better turn my mic off. You don't want to hear me sing.
This is my wish for the world, that peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song. He'll be